Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, welcome you all. Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Actually, today is a different day. Morning, a lot of messages came poured in. Happy Friendship Day, and within this lockdown, we are just floating in time. I don't know which day is coming and going. So anyway, in general, happy Friendship Day to all of you. And I'm happy that Dr. Singh he also agreed to have an introduction today on this very wonderful day. And today I want to say that we had started this series of interaction 2 weeks back, where we had interacted with the MSc students in one session and the PhD students in
Right.
another. But since Sir is present today, we combined both the groups together. That's why you might have been noticing the name of the email, that junior plus senior. So here in the first part, so we'll just explain that the broad areas he has been working on, like, and how you can all contribute to this conservation program. And secondly, the second part with the scholars, like those who have already started studying about these turtles and these conservation things, then how can they proceed? So it's up to you for the junior level. Those who will are from MSc, you can stay till the second part, or you can leave. It's up to you. But even if you stay, we do not have any problem. So I would now introduce you all to our esteemed speaker for the day, Dr. Shailendra Singh. He is a senior scientific consultant and associate director in the aquatic wildlife division. He has earned his master degree on the Ghadial, Gavialis gangeticus, and a PhD on the red-crowned roof turtle, that is Batabur kachuga. He is the spearhead of the, this is this WCS India World Conservation Society, I think Wildlife Conservation Society, right?
That's correct.
Wildlife
Yes.
Conservation Society, and uh, he has been instrumental in implementing over 167 conservation research and education projects across the country. And we are proud that he was the first Indian biologist to receive the Disney Conservation Hero Award in 2008. Shailendra sir is also a vice chair of IUCN Tortoise and Freshwater Turtle Specialist Group and IUCN SSC Crocodile Specialist Group, among several other international and national conservation committees. So, without delay, I would welcome you, sir, and we are very privileged to have you us today here. So, and let me stop sharing so that you can continue. Over to you,
Yeah.
sir.
So thank you, Dr. Priyanka. I mean, it is great opportunity to share some of our research and conservation work with you guys, as well as, I mean, so this is not kind of a very formal webinar we are going to have today, but she requested that some of you are very interested to do some turtle conservation research. So we got like a couple of students from West Bengal. They have been contacting us for few last few weeks. So we thought it would be a good idea to have a kind of interaction with all of you and probably discuss some turtle conservation and research ideas. Just to, I mean, since I don't have any presentation or anything right now, it's more you guys are going to speak and I'm going to listen and probably respond to your questions. So I will give you a kind of a little brief idea of turtles and tortoises of India. And so you have like something to build on and probably ask questions or other questions. So turtles and tortoises, essentially, we have 29 species and 42 taxa all across the country. And when we talk about turtles and tortoises, that means mostly freshwater turtles and tortoises. We have another 5 species, those are sea species or like, marine turtles. So probably we are not going to cover that today. And there's another uh, entirely different group, marine turtle species group, and they are very interested in that. We are interested in them, and then probably try and learn lots of conservation techniques and effort from them. Since freshwater turtle conservation and tortoise conservation is still far behind from, if you compare it with marine conservation. So with 29 species and 42 taxa, India stands on number 3 in the entire world of turtle conservation or turtle diversity and conservation. But at the same time, and when you talk about the threats, India faces variety of threats in terms of the turtle conservation and turtle diversity and populations all across. So there are a couple of areas, or rather 5 important areas. Those are very, very important for turtle conservation. One is Gangetic Plain, where we have like about 14 to 15 species. Another area is where you are sitting right now, West Bengal and the part of Orissa. And again, in uh, eastern India, along in India and Burma border, and then Western Ghats down south, where you have endemic species, 3 endemic species, those are surviving in Western Ghats. So, and then, of course, and in Gangetic Plain, there's another portion which is Tarai Arc landscape along India and Nepal border. So these are 5 important turtle priority areas. And how we know that they are turtle priority areas? So as I said, that means that you have good diversity of turtles there, and then uh, you have like means how many turtles they're endangered and they need some kind of conservation effort. So all these such things means try and help us to determine that means if the species is the area is turtle priority area. So well, so, and when you try and just like study one species, so you'll see that means one species sometime like just any species, if you take, say for example, if you take Chitra indica, which is narrow-headed soft-sea turtle, or for example, very common species or rather most common species of the country is Indian flap-tailed turtle, Lismus punctata. Most of you might have seen it in your vicinity and all of that. When you see the distribution range, that's all across the country as well as in neighboring countries as well. So that you have to consider everything kind of on Indian subcontinent level rather than just India. So when I say India, that means it's political boundary, but you should not forget that they are also in Pakistan, in Nepal, in Bangladesh, and part of them in few of them are in Sri Lanka as well. So these things are very important. So we stand at a very strategic place, since means we have good diversity, we have good populations surviving here and there, but like the same time we have the biggest threat, which is illegal turtle poaching. And out of 29 species, I think that means 25 species are highly sought after, and people really want to capture them and send them to illegal markets in Southeast Asia. For meat, for pet trade, and for different kind of traditional Chinese medicines, and even in like kind of traditional medicines in India. So these are the threats and the human demand. As you know, most of you are biology students, so don't need to tell you that. The population is increasing. We are what like now 1.25 billion people, and so when you start seeing that, the where you have lots of turtles, so places like Gangetic Plain, where you're sitting now, and I'm sitting here in Uttar Pradesh. That's like uh, most populated zone of the world. When you start seeing the world population map, so we are 800 plus people in per square kilometer area or something like that. So it's definitely a challenge to recover decimated turtle populations in such, human-dominated landscapes. So we have a different challenges and different management regimes, and then you have it's not just poaching is not just threat, and another threat is the habitat degradation. And most of the rivers and wetlands where turtles live actually, and or forest. I mean, per se in northeastern India, I mean most of the tortoise species live in the forest, in the fringe of the forest as well as wetlands. So they are under tremendous pressure. And again, I mean, we can't in such a short time we can't go into that why rivers and wetlands are under tremendous pressure. But you can imagine all the fishing. I mean, and water, which we need to divert for drinking and irrigation purposes, uh, a different kind of pollution, different hydrodynamic structures such as dams, and so on and so forth. I mean, so there are different. I mean, and then turtles are like, since they are not just they just don't use water. They also use a little bit of the land, which is adjacent, kind of close to the edge of the water, to get out, to bask, to nest. So they have a very fragile ecosystem. They are not like they just need water and they can move away. And they live in an area like they live. I mean, you live in your home. So I mean, there are lots of people think that if something happened at one place, probably turtles are going to go and survive in another place, which is not true actually. So they have a like kind of a very tight home range, very tight, affinity with their site of occurrence and their site of hatching and the site of basking and things like that. So I mean, like, and any change in the river system or in the ecosystem where they live, if something happens, so I mean, they can always uh, get easily wiped out. And when you go back a little bit in the history and try and compare turtles with the other vertebrates, since turtles are vertebrates, they are reptiles, of course. I did not cover that. So, but they are reptiles since they have scales. They are cold-blooded organisms, and they lay eggs, of course. So there are 3-4 things, I mean, which you need to be a reptile. And when you see that even among reptiles, turtles are the oldest creatures which walked on this earth for like at least 220 million years ago. So they're pretty fascinating. They are very primitive creatures, and they evolved with time, but they are not able to cope up with lots of human pressure, which is like directly or indirectly trying to finish them from the face of the earth. So, I mean, it's like kind of a big thing and a very complex situation. At the same time, I mean, such an increasing population of human or our own species, they also need to lots of resources to survive, and that is not going to stop. When turtle will finish, probably they'll start eating something else, and so that will work. So everything is. I mean, all the data, when you see, it's really very scary. So the today's point I wanted to make, that means, the problem is big, but we can always be part of the solution. So as I said, the turtles are the most endangered vertebrate group, and we have lots of turtles, we have lots of issues. So since most of us are either scholars or researchers or student or people who wants to do something in the field of biology and do some conservation eventually, or at least pass on your results to managers and other people who can do some conservation. So I think that turtles academically provide very good opportunity for people to study them, to observe them, to learn some fascinating biological aspect, fascinating behavioral aspects, as well as like lots of ecological interactions. And unfortunately, since resources were like little scarce in India, and plus most of the focus was on big mammals and more charismatic animals in last 20 to 30 years. Since the conservation started in the country in early 70s. But after 2005, 2006, people started looking to the small creatures like butterflies and then birds and turtles, and also means other things as well. So I really wanted to encourage all of you, that means so turtles, I mean, like there are lots of scope and lots of gray areas which you can study in turtles. So I mean, and it's not just ecology and conservation, but lots of the basic sciences. Like means, you can always ask question to yourself, and the good researcher and the good student always ask questions, lots of questions. And then when you try and answer that, probably that is your master or PhD thesis or independent research. So you can always ask lots of questions, that what particular turtle eat in particular area, and then that is your question, and then probably you try and just like get an hypothesis looking around, that you'll see that okay, particular turtle you found in a what do you call, in a agricultural field or in a forest area. So what is the availability? What do you think that particular turtle eat? Or if you are a turtle, what you are going to eat? So so you form a hypothesis, and then you'll start experiment that how to find out that what particular turtle eat, and they probably just like investigate the feeding ecology. So, I mean, research sounds very complicated, but at the same time, research is very fascinating. And knowing about any animal, especially means aquatic animal, so it's always very good to, it's very fascinating and very, I mean, very enjoyable, I would say. I mean, it's not like any kind of any like very boring lab research or anything. There are lots of lab researchers also involved in the reptile conservation and science. I'm not saying and demeaning that, but I mean, when you involve yourself in the conservation biology and the ecological research and behavioral research and scientific management, so probably, I mean, you find yourself in one of the most enjoyable position, and that's very satisfying end of the day. And you always generate, I mean, so generally people do, I mean, how it is different. So I'm going to just like probably give you a little pointer on that generally when you see that means what other people do in the zoology lab or in an environmental science lab, so other people try and just like bring a model and biological model in their studies, try and study that, try and just like give different kind of treatment and try and just observe the changes, and that those changes they document and write papers and things like that. But here, what's the best part of this, that changes in the treatments are available in the field. So you have to consider the wetlands and the rivers essentially as your own laboratory. So you don't need to go and do lots of treatments and things, but you have to just like try and observe them in the different conditions. So that means that when you are sitting means in your university, probably there are two wetlands, and if you try and consider one wetland as a control, another wetland as your kind of a study wetland, so you have to compare, get the data and probably try and compare that in terms of the turtles or fish or anything like that. So so such things, and then your treatment is a different kind of threats essentially. So so you can always just like try and document those threats. So you try and quantify them, and you try and compare the results, and you see that means what you found. The best part is another pointer is that whatever research and research products you are going to produce out of your small or like short-term to long-term studies are going to eventually feed in the species conservation. So that's the best part. So that does not mean that your research is going to eat dust in some libraries and people are not going to until they are interested. I mean, so if you try and do a research or maybe like on earthworms, so I mean, until I'm not interested in earthworms, I'm not going to read that. But if you study turtles is such a fascinating group, and there are lots of conservation activities going on, and people, I mean, most people are interested. So probably other people are going to pick up your work and probably advance it from where you left it. So that's another, this is very satisfying. That means your research studies are going to be implemented by someone, whether it's a manager or another researcher or someone like, so that's a good part. Another thing I wanted to mention that when you try and compare turtles with other biotic groups, so I mean, everything is important. I'm not saying that, but that also give you a little like kind of opportunity of advanced study and learning, such as if you really want to study climate change, so turtles are the best indicator. since most of you know that turtle sex is generally determined by the temperature. That means that if you are going to incubate the eggs on lower temperature, you are going to mostly get the males. And if slightly higher temperature, you are going to mostly get the females. So that means that you have to have kind of a optimal temperature where you can get desired sex ratio or both sexes. I mean, depending upon the ecosystem and the predation and different kind of natural and ecological processes. So, so such things. And another thing I wanted to mention that of gray area when you set out, since a species always origin after like lots and lots or number of years, million of years, as I told you, the 220 million years. So, you just imagine that means, turtle evolved since then. And then there were threads, maybe like 200 years, 500 years, something like that. So I'm not saying that, but like, that you can just like go back and understand everything, but at least you should be, there are lots of ecological processes which took place in those years, probably, and they are very limited information. So, so that way, I think that turtle makes a very special biological subject. So, and so as I told you, they use land, they use water, they are very ancient creature. Their sex is determined by temperature. And, every single species has its own history and own ecological niche, essentially, where they live, how they look, how the males look for for the mate selection. When you carefully see their hatchlings, the babies, they look very different. You can always ask like little questions that why babies look differently than than the adult turtles. And that question you can answer in your PhD or master's. So something like that. And you can always ask that why a male looks smaller than the females, or male is smaller than a female. So, so there are so many such things which kind of were evolved through lots of evolution and evolutionary processes and ecological processes, which you can generally try and answer through your MSc and PhD thesis and independent research. And when I talk a little bit about the career in turtle conservation, so, I was like, ex-army officer, and I wanted to study reptiles. And so first I qualified that, and then I left the job and just came back and, pursued my career. So I like to observe any reptile. Not forget about like any complicated data collection on things, but I generally, very fascinated. I always just keep thinking about them. So, you should try and develop that kind of attitude. That means, you have that very special interest in reptiles and especially in turtles. And then you think about them. It's not just like you go and jump in a river or in a wetland and try and it's just like, today you start studying them. You read about them, you think about them, you ask yourself question, you develop a hypothesis, and then you then try and just like put together a research design depending upon the resources which you have in terms of the accessibility of area, fellowships, and whatnot. Any support or any guidance or skills which you have, and then try and study. And then you don't need to go very far. You can do lots of things. So we all Indians should definitely try and just like think over it and see that where we can probably contribute more, and what aspect we can learn, any biological behavior or anything. Since as I said that if you start asking questions, so there will be 200 questions right there on your paper, and all questions, since you can't answer, since some of like beyond your reach, so some of them are there. You can start that right there in South Bengal. You don't need to go anywhere else. So, so such things, but you have to do those things, and you have to generate that interest. You have to generate those like scientific mentality, and then you have to live it. Kind of have a very special affinity with turtles, or any research subject per se. It's not turtles. I mean, if you try and study birds, you'll have to have a very special interest in birds. So first you have to develop that. So my supervisor always, he used to say, when I used to tell him that I collected this data and that data and things, so he always used to tell me that, look, data is important. I mean, and I'm not demeaning the data, but I'm saying that you have to first kind of develop a story, okay? And then turtle is your, and a particular species is your character, which you have to think. And so it's like kind of you are writing uh, you are essentially writing a story, and then turtle is your like kind of a main character which is going to lead the story. And then when you have that story, when you have that affinity, when you have that interest, then you try and go out and refine and fill in data and everything. So so you don't worry about that. So most of the researchers, when I talk to them, possibly they just like try and miss that portion. I mean, like they immediately go, they read some paper, they start trying copy that out, that okay, this is what I want to do, but this is not what you want to do. You have to just like think again, take a step back, think again, that okay, if I want to do turtle research, turtle really fascinates me, and this is and then you ask yourself that why I want to do this. So as I'm telling you all this, I mean, probably this is what I thought, but you might be thinking that you should study a beetle, so it depends on person to person, whatever like fascinates you. So, and that always means, when you do that, probably that bring out best in you. I mean, and if you try and copy someone else in research, that does not work. You might be able to publish some papers, few papers, and can do some degree and be a faculty or something like that, but you can't be a good researcher of a particular subject, So that's my tips here, that, or other tip here, that means you should definitely try and think. And if you decide that you want to study turtles, so that's very good, and we are there to help you out. And believe me, I mean, as I said, that turtle study is very fascinating and very enjoyable in the field, and the lots of questions, and then lots of gray areas, and of course, I mean, like, lots of conservation efforts are still needed to conserve the turtles. So, I mean, these things I think are important when you want to conserve turtles. So, before I start taking your questions, so I would definitely try and just like tell you a couple of endangered turtles, and tell that meant what is happening with them. So, one turtle species we are working in Chambal. That species, I mean, 30 years back, that was all across Ganges, and I mean, everywhere. But now that species is only limited to Chambal. And when people ask me why, so one reason was that the species was like heavily tied with the habitat. But I mean, that's like the fishing, and the fishing kind of tried to kill most of the gravid or fecund or adult females, which, and Chambal, the same time Chambal was declared as the sanctuary area. And so, I mean, for gharials, and Batagur kachuga, red crowned roof turtle, the species I'm talking about now, so that received some protection, and then some like kind of intactness of the habitat. So they are still surviving there. And there's only, I mean, if you eliminate the fishing, only two reasons. I mean, they needed the deep pools, they needed the high sandbars. So, and you'll be very surprised to know that we have less than 500 adults are surviving just on Chambal River, just 500 adults. And that is only in 30 years. Another species is Batagur baska, means, which is in your state. So we have like what, less than 50 adult individuals all across world, and mostly in the captivity, none in the wild. Another species we are working in Northeast India, that's a black soft-shell turtle. That species also means, we believe that they are less than 500 adults surviving in the wild. So, so some species are really, really going down, and that means we need lots of research. But unfortunately, we can't take, very basic research. So we'll have to raise it up a little bit. So sometimes students and academicians, I mean, they don't collaborate with you since, I mean, they are kind of used to study 3 years, 5 years, 6 years. But you want to just like tell them that, look, I mean, in 6 months, you need a kind of certain data set so you can refine your strategy of anything. I mean, maybe release, maybe reproduction, maybe something else. So they get like little kind of apprehensive that, okay, no, 6 months or 1 year is like very less time. So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, conservation research sometime need you to pace up your study and generate only urgent data set, which is much needed to do conservation. So that means that you have to prioritize your research and definitely the species. And last but not least, I would try and just like, you know, advise you guys that whenever you try and do a study, please try and take one species for your study, one aspect for your study in one time. That means, you know, you should not be like really worried that you should study everything and try and cover like all the ground, but you just like should focus. So I mean, if you're focusing on small things, that is going to be help you not to scatter your resources too thin. That means you are going to come back with lots of substantial result and you know, information from that particular species, and that is going to help and you know, the entire conservation fraternity. And not only that, that will not encourage other people to reinvent the wheel and put more resources and try and do whatever you did. And as you know, expand your capacity and capabilities, probably you can try and just like switch to other species, probably expand your areas, expand the country, or like something like that. As I told you, that some species are not only restricted to your area, but maybe in Bihar, maybe in Uttar Pradesh and in Nepal or somewhere else. So, but don't worry about that now. Start from a scratch and then try and be with it, try and study it, try and learn from it, try and learn from your errors, and try and expand gradually. And that is, I think that is like kind of a very important for success for any wildlife biologist, not just turtle biologist. So yeah, I mean, these are my like kind of some quick inputs on turtle conservation and research, but I would be happy to answer any question you might have at this point. And Dr. Priyanka, rather Professor Priyanka has my email ID and everything. You guys can ask me any question anytime. I'll be always ready to answer. But right now I can answer a couple of questions if you have.
Okay, so thank you so much indeed. Actually, what happens that as far as I have known about your story, because you also come from a village background, and that this fact might, you know, interest most of my students, because they also belong to you know, a remote area. So they can, if you can contribute so much today with your simple passion, then I think any one of my students can also. So thank you very much. Had I been a student doing a class of yours today, then I would really have been very much benefited, because nowadays people don't get the path. So anyway, one question to all of you is like, shall we continue the question answer session in English, or हिंदी में भी सर बात कर सकते हैं, जो भी तुम लोगों को
मैं हिंदी
सुविधा
ही
हो।
बोलता हूँ।
हाँ, तो अगर हम लोग क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन हिंदी में करें, अगर तुम लोग को प्रॉब्लम ना हो, क्योंकि मुझे मालूम है मे बी सभी लोग मूवीज देखते हो, तो शायद हिंदी सबको समझ में आती है. तो any one or two can, you know, just tell me that which language to continue henceforth, Hindi or English or combined.
I can even understand Bengali, but I can't speak it.
Okay, so in case सर ने जो बोला कि अगर तुम लोगों को इंग्लिश या हिंदी में बोलने में तकलीफ है, तो तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम बंगाली में भी बोल सकते हो, लेकिन सर हिंदी या इंग्लिश में ही आंसर देंगे, ठीक है. So there is a small question from Khalik, but I think Khalik, if it's better if you switch on your video and speak your question yourself, sir. And of course, before speaking your questions and experience, give your short you know, introduction to sir, so that he knows that who you are. Okay, so Khalid, if you can just unmute yourself, and if possible, the video or otherwise.
No, I mean, on to my introduction.
Yeah, just
Hello.
Okay, just in brief that when you passed your MSc. And
I passed MSc in 2017. I am a student. That I am doing. admitted actually in B.Ed. Just I actually encountered a turtle, clustered turtle, and some eggs. The eggs were really round.
Right.
Now my question is how to identify a turtle egg. Are those who are turtle egg or any other egg?
So, I mean, I think that so different turtle species lay in a different season. So, and they have the clutch size. Clutch size means that the number of eggs in particular nest. Okay. So, so 3-4 things you have to definitely look for this. Look to understand if it's a turtle egg. So first, that where you found it. So if turtles, well, I mean, most of the turtles are hole nester. That means they have to make a hole. Okay. So if like you find any nest in a hole, that means that is definitely a turtle nest in your area. Try and see that how far it is from water. So that again means to tell you if it is a turtle or a tortoise. And the third thing is, which is very important, is the shape and size of the egg, and of course the color. So most of the turtle eggs are white, and if like mostly if they are spherical in shape, that means like tennis ball, small tennis ball. So that means that they are soft shell eggs, and if they are like oval in shape like anda, so they are essentially hard shells. So, and then means, you have to definitely means, know, as I said, the size, so that means how big they are. So if you will try and see that means, and in your area, you have lots of other reptiles like water monitors, Bengal monitors, and so on and so forth. So you never know that means maybe
I found those.
Yes. Yeah, but yes, I mean, so I would definitely say, I mean, like if they were in a hole and if they are round, so probably they are soft shell turtles. And if you find them now, so that is like Nilsonia or maybe Indian flapshell turtle. But if you find anything oval, which is essentially in Feb and March, so they are any hard shell turtle, big hard shell, and in November and Feb, so they are small hard shells. So these are some basic tips to identify and where they are. Yes.
सर एक्चुअली खालिद का घर नदी के पास है, तो वो अक्सर अपने उसके फादर के साथ जाता है। तो पूरा शिलावती नदी है वहाँ पे, गड़बेता एक जगह का नाम है। तो उससे पहले मिला था, उसने मुझे फोटो भी भेजा था, शायद मैंने ग्रुप में दिया था। तो इसीलिए उसने पूछा कि कैसे पहचाने, शायद से मिल जाता।
तो मैंने कहा अगर आपका मतलब आप 4-5 चीजें अगली बार तो 4-5 चीजें आप लिख के रखें। तो कहाँ मिला है, नदी से कितना दूर है, मतलब गड्ढे में मिला है कि नहीं मिला है, और कितने
नहीं।
तो ये सब चीजें लिख के रखेंगे। और
वो जो रेत है ना, रेत में ही मिला था, थोड़ा दबा हुआ था रेत के नीचे, एकदम गोल गोल सा था, 1 रेडियस था 1 इंच के, हार्ड शेल था और थोड़ा सा हल्का था।
हाँ, तो 13 से 39 के बीच में अगर अंडे होते हैं तो जो आपका इंडियन सॉफ्ट शेल टर्टल होता है, ठीक है, तो वो उसका अंडा होता है। और वो इंडियन सॉफ्ट शेल टर्टल जनरली जो है वो अगस्त सितंबर में अंडा देता है, और उसके बच्चे निकलते हैं देर में, मतलब आपका अगले साल जब बारिश होगी। और ऐसे ही इंडियन फ्लैप सेल टर्टल भी होता है, उसका नेस्ट कम होता है, 10 से कम होता है, तो वो भी वैसे ही नेस्ट करते हैं, लेकिन वो उतना नहीं जाएगा। तो आपके बात के आधार पे हमें ऐसा लग रहा है कि या तो वो मतलब इंडियन सॉफ्ट सेल टर्टल होगा, और या तो फिर नैरो हेडेड सॉफ्ट सेल टर्टल होगा। लेकिन नैरो हेडेड होने के लिए 39 से ऊपर होगा उसका संख्या, फिर वो हो जाएगा। लेकिन अगली
मुझे टर्टल भी मिला था। हेलो,
हाँ, बताओ, हो गया तुम्हारा?
मुझे एक टर्टल भी मिला था, मैं उसके वीडियो बनाया था और उसे
अच्छा।
हाँ, टर्टल।
अच्छा, ठीक है, हम लोग कुछ, ठीक है, थैंक यू खालिद। हम लोग कुछ क्वेश्चंस लेंगे, लेकिन एक बात मैं सबको बताना चाहती हूँ कि मैं दिखा नहीं पाई अभी, लेकिन क्यों आज सबको मैंने बुलाया यहाँ पे, क्योंकि ये जो टर्टल्स हैं, हम हर कोई वहाँ पे जाके अभी जैसे सर ने बोला, हम सारे अभी नदी में जाके कूद नहीं सकते कि चलो जितने टर्टल्स हैं ढूंढ के निकालें। सो एक नया जो डिसिप्लिन है जिसे हम बोलते हैं टर्टल साइंस, सॉरी सिटीजन साइंस, इससे क्या होता है कि हम लोग एक नेटवर्क बनाते हैं, जो सर अगर लास्ट में एकदम क्वेश्चंस के बाद में बता दें, IT कैन बोल के, तो यहाँ पे और एक कुर्मा ऐप भी है। तो ये डेवलप हो रहा है, हम लोग नेटवर्क बना के कॉमन पीपल को, जिसने जहाँ पे जो टर्टल देखा है या कुछ सुना है, चाहे वो कहीं पे उन्होंने कुछ कोचिंग के लिए देखा हो या लाइव कुछ एनवायरनमेंट में देखा हो, तो आप उसको रिपोर्ट कीजिए। तो इससे क्या होता है, हम लोग का ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जो है टर्टल का, ये ज्यादा अच्छे से हम लोग डॉक्यूमेंट कर पाते हैं, विच इज वेरी वाइटल आई थिंक। इज इट सो सर?
तो सुपर्णा, थोड़ा सा आप बंगाली में बताएंगे क्या इसके बारे में?
Yeah, sure. And also, like while Shiporna madam starts her presentation or whatever she speaks, I would ask you, मतलब सबको मैं बोलना चाहती हूँ कि थोड़ा बहुत अपने टर्टल के साथ क्या एक्सपीरियंस है या क्या क्वेरी से एक दो सेंटेंस में सबको थोड़ा बहुत बोलना पड़ेगा। ओके, शिपोर्ना।
হ্যালো, হ্যাঁ, সো আমাদের যে ইট ক্যান ডেভেলপ হয়েছে ওটা বেসিক্যালি সম্পূর্ণ সিটিজেন সায়েন্সের উপরে ডিপেন্ড করে। তোমরা যে যেখানেই থাকো, তোমাদের আশেপাশে আমাদের ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলে প্রচুরই ওয়েটল্যান্ড আছে বা ছোট নদী নালা সবকিছুই আছে, যেখানে যাই কিছু দেখতে পারো। কুর্মা অ্যাপ অলরেডি ডেভেলপ হয়ে গেছে আর ওটা গুগল প্লে স্টোরে সম্পূর্ণ ফ্রিলি অ্যাভেলেবেল আছে। তোমরা যে কোনো টাইমে সেটা খুলে রিপোর্ট করতে পারো। খুবই সিম্পল, যদি তোমরা এখানে দেখতে পারো আমাদের অলরেডি ডেভেলপ আছে, এখানে রিপোর্ট করো।
স্ক্রিনটা ঠিক ক্লিয়ার না শ্রীপর্ণা? স্ক্রিনটা ইজ নো ইলিমিনেশন, জাস্ট টিল্ট ইট আ বিট,
ইজ ইট ভিজিবল?
নট সো ক্লিয়ার, একটু দূর থেকে করো। এনিওয়ে তুমি বলো।
এখানে বেসিক্যালি পুরো স্পিসিস লিস্ট দেওয়া আছে, লোকেশন তোমরা সেট করতে পারবে, ডেট, আর কোথায় দেখেছো, কি অবস্থায় দেখেছো, কোনো মার্কেটে দেখে থাকো বা কোনো নদীর ধারে দেখে থাকো, এগস শেল দেখে থাকো বা ডেড টার্টল দেখে থাকো, তোমরা সবকিছু এখানে রিপোর্ট করতে পারো। আর তোমরা যদি আইডি নাও করতে পারো, আমরা আছি, সেটা আমরা পরে আইডি করে তোমাদের মেইল করব বা ওখানেই আমরা আপডেট করে দেবো। তো তোমরা ধীরে ধীরে এটা করতে থাকো, তাহলে অনেক ইনফরমেশন আসবে, ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন আমরা জানতে পারবো টার্টলের পুরো অল ওভার ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলে। প্রচুরই কম স্টাডি হয়েছে টার্টলস এর বিষয়। তোমরা যদি ছোট ছোট, যেমন রবীন্দ্র সরোবর লেক আমাদের কলকাতায় আছে, ওখানে লিশমিশ পাংটাটা ইন্ডিয়ান ফ্ল্যাগশেল টার্টল খুবই কমন। তো তোমরা চাও তো ওখানে গিয়েও একটা সার্ভে ছোট করতেই পারো। যেমন বার্ড ওয়াক হয়, তোমরা সবাই মিলে গেলে একদিন সকালবেলা গিয়ে পুরো ওয়েটল্যান্ডটা সার্ভে করলে, বা ইস্ট ক্যালকাটা ওয়েটল্যান্ডে আমি যেমন জানি প্রত্যেক কলেজেই আমাদের একটা ডিসার্টেশন থাকে, ছোট একটা প্রজেক্ট থাকে ইস্ট ক্যালকাটা ওয়েটল্যান্ডের স্টাডি। ম্যাম বলতে পারবেন, আমিও করেছিলাম যখন আমি কলেজে পড়তাম। তো ওই সময় গিয়ে আমরা তখন ফিশ স্টাডিটা করি। তোমরা টার্টেলেরও একটা ছোট সার্ভে করতেই পারো। ওরকম চিন্তামণিকর বার্ড স্যাংচুয়ারি যেটা আছে, ওখানে গিয়েও তোমরা ছোট একটা স্টাডি করতেই পারো। এরকম ছোট ছোট যেমন বার্ড ওয়াক হয়, ওরকম টার্টেল ওয়াক তোমরা সবাই মিলে 5-6 জন একসাথে গিয়ে গিয়ে করতে পারো। আর এই অ্যাপটাতে রিপোর্ট করতে থাকো, তোমাদের এই ডেটাটাও পরবর্তীকালে রিসার্চে কাজে দেবে। তো আই থিঙ্ক এইভাবেই সিটিজেন সায়েন্স কাজ করে। তার সাথে আমাদের ইন্ডিয়ান টার্টেল কনজারভেশন অ্যাকশন নেটওয়ার্ক একটা ফেসবুক পেজ আছে, যেখানে তোমরা আরো অনেক জানতে পারবে ফ্রেশ ওয়াটার টার্টলস অ্যান্ড টর্টয়েজের ব্যাপারে। সেই পেজটাকেও ফলো করতে থাকো। আই থিঙ্ক সেটা তোমাদের অনেকটাই হেল্প করবে। ম্যাম, আপনি কিছু যদি বলতে চান।
And I just wanted to add one thing, that Professor Priyanka is coordinator for the state for ITCAN.
Yeah, thank you, Shiporna.
Yeah,
Just thank you so much, because you just delved in the right time to explain about this app. So like
প্রবলেম থাকে, আমি একটা পোস্টারও শেয়ার করে দেবো। ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলের টার্টেল কি কি পাওয়া যায়, বেসিক্যালি 20 টার্টেল আর 19 টার্টেল আর একটা টর্টয়েজ পাওয়া যায় ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলে। আমি চাইলে ম্যামকে শেয়ার করে দেবো সেই পোস্টারটা, সবার হেল্প হবে ভালো ঠিক করে আইডি করতে। এখন আমরা যে সব থেকে বড় যে সমস্যাটা ফেস করছি, সেটা হচ্ছে টার্টেল আইডেন্টিফিকেশনে অনেক লোকই ভুল করে ফেলে। তো সেটার জন্য ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন, ম্যাপিং সবকিছুতে প্রবলেম আসতে থাকে। তো সবার প্রথমে আমাদের টার্টেল আইডেন্টিফিকেশনটা জানা খুবই জরুরি। তো এই কুর্মা অ্যাপে আইডি গাইড বলেও একটা সেকশন আছে। তো সেটা যদি সবাই পড়তে থাকে, দেখতে থাকে, তাহলে আরো বেশি আইডিয়া হবে আইডেন্টিফিকেশন জানার জন্য। কনফিউশন বেসিক্যালি হয় সফটশেল টার্টেলের মধ্যে। তো আই থিঙ্ক সেটা যদি সবাই একটু দেখতে থাকে, তাহলে আরো ভালো রিপোর্ট আসবে। আর ম্যাম যেমন দেখাচ্ছে অলরেডি আমাদের প্রচুর পোস্ট আছে, অনেক কিছু ফ্যাক্টস ইনফরমেশন।
Okay, সত্যি সত্যি, is my screen visible? I was not sure because
হ্যাঁ
it is
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
written.
একদম ভিজুয়াল দেখতে পাচ্ছি।
It is visible, so আমি log in করিনি, like I haven't logged in, and this is one, the IT Can Facebook page. Then this is the Turtle Sir. Is this also?
ইটস আ ফ্রেশ ম্যাটেরিয়াল। হ্যাঁ, আর এটা
This one?
TSL
Yeah, this is the TSA, the worldwide, and this part is from India, whose director is Dr. Singh. Then also we have many such, things, but আজকে এত কম সময়, like in the short time, we cannot cover everything. So very fast, I would next, I think, is Ibtishamun ready? Like, can you speak something about your experiences?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Short, yeah.
Hello, sir. I'm Ibtishamun Nesha. I'm pursuing Masters in Zoology from Vidyasagar University.
Hi.
Well, okay. I'm very much thank you for I'm very much inspired, and I'm very enthusiastic about turtle conservation. Well, I'm actually I'm part of some NGOs, and we are working on the conservation in the rural areas. And in our Howrah, I'm from Howrah, and Howrah in this area, the Indian flapshell turtle is very common, and they're poaching, they're like illegal trading is very very much common here, and the people, like the villagers, they are the villagers, not only the tribal hunters, but also the villagers, they also eat them. So we just, it's a very small initiative we started actually, and for understanding them, for make them known about that they are very endangered, then they shouldn't do that thing, and all that kind of activities. So I am very much interested in conservation, and if you guide me how I should, after MSc, how I should apply for the conservation, any kind of project or something.
So I suggest you that means please be in touch with us, and if you probably I request Sri to please write the email ID and display it here, so probably everyone can have it. And we have a phone number and everything, so anytime, I mean, you guys can just be in touch, and we can be, so it's just an start which Professor Priyanka started, and probably will be in touch and guide you guys more. So yeah, I mean, like, we'll be very interested to guide you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And actually, in our area, the turtle is very much vulnerable. Like, we are started obviously talking about with them and interacting with them, then they shouldn't do it. But if any kind of forum, any kind of, our NGOs is always doing that. But if you coordinate with us, then that would be very good. Any kind of conservation.
Yeah, of course. That is why, Ibtishamun, that is why we have started to this program, and this is not the last one. This is just the beginning. Like, today was just a introduction, and the tagline of today's like interactive session, that is friendship with the turtles on the Friendship Day. So we started our friendship, and we will continue this. Maybe next time, sir will next month, so he can show actually what work he's been doing and all this, how to proceed. But today I think we will just cut it short.
I could not make any PowerPoint today, but definitely,
That's
I mean,
okay,
I have a lot of nice photos and stuff I will show you guys.
It's very inspiring, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Now next, I think Proshun,
Sir,
and Ria, I mean Shomrita and Ronit, who have been doing a little bit of things. You can just speak out.
Sir, I have a question. In case of community-based conservation, which factor is most important for conservationist?
In case of, sorry,
community-based conservation, turtle conservation actually,
yeah,
which factor, कौन सा factor important होते हैं एक conservationist के लिए?
So I think that means, in my opinion, that socioeconomic factor and the interaction with animals, so it depends that which community you are dealing with. So say, for example, that if I'm dealing with the Kanjar community, one of the community which is in North India, and so they interact with turtles, but always negatively. That means that turtles, they look for their ungulate and they eat it. So I think that means the underlying factor is the socioeconomics. So essentially, I mean, people those are poor and probably just like living along the rivers or I mean in the tribal settlements, they always look for. So they necessarily don't target turtles, but they actually look for anything or everything, and they can always eat it. So so the I mean the and the basic thing I have to look for that what kind of socioeconomic background you are going to deal with. Plus, another thing is that means what kind of like socio-culture practices they are already there. So, say for example that if you are in Assam and talking to certain communities, those are essentially catching turtles to donate to Shiva temples, so they can bring the good omen. So that is a different intention than the person who is eating turtle. So you'll have to find that means what is underlying socioeconomic or the socio-cultural practices or the factors are there. And on the basis of that, you should design your conservation intervention. Probably then you can address the situation.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, anything,
Thank-
Ronit and Shomrita want to speak?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what
Ma'am,
have
am
you
I
been
audible?
doing? Yeah, you are.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. It's a great opportunity for us interacting with you. And I have a question that when we start our studying and look at the pictures of different kind of turtles, they are very colorful. So, is there any beyond this color, if they get any advantages for this coloration?
Yeah, very
Very,
interesting
very.
question. I think.
I'm very glad that you asked this question, Sumitra. So actually, what happened that means that's what we believe. I think I mentioned in my discussion a little bit that turtles always. So when you see that, contrary to mammals, I mean, so always just like male are more, they always just like display more colors. So generally, we believe that. This is like kind of a part of sexual characteristics or rather secondary sexual characteristics. So that means also the females can choose the best mate. So that's one. And the second thing is that, but when again, I mean, if you're a turtle, I mean, if you are vulnerable, you don't have lots of defense except your shell and probably a little bit claw and the biting mechanism. So I mean, you should not. I mean, it's like generally goes against the law of hiding yourself when you are very vulnerable. So I mean, they compensate their color with lots of other things. But males, yes, and the primary reason is that that like the sexual preferences, so they can increase the best genes and they can help flow the best gene. Another thing is that means when you see the smaller animals, that means the hatchlings. So you'll see that they are even colorful. So I ask this question, and Sri and I and others in my team, we always discuss that why a small baby has that kind of like color. So we always think that probably that is part of the biomimicry of like the environment they live. So probably they can just like probably merge themselves close to the vegetation on the flower or anything like that, and just like be there safe. So in nutshell, or in precisely answering your question, is probably the second the sexual preferences is one, and probably biomimicking to avoid the predation, and part of the predatory avoidance mechanism is two. But there could be other ecological advantages of that, which we definitely need to figure out, and you guys can take up that as a research of your master or PhD dissertations.
Yeah, that was really well answered. And also to tell, मतलब सबको बताना चाहती हूँ कि शोमृता और रोनित they are studying from the evening course of MSc, and they are a bunch of quite interested pals, and they are. We had planned to present a poster in one of the seminars, but after that lockdown came up, and that's postponed for now. I think Shomrita and Ronesh should keep in touch so that we can contact sir and like how to develop the even if the seminar was postponed, but sir, they were also interested in writing some
नहीं,
reviews.
आप हाँ सब
review
लोग
articles.
स्टडी कर रहे हो तो सेमिनार वगैरह तो बार बार आता रहेगा, और टीएसए का भी एक आता है सेमिनार, हर एनुअल सेमिनार होता है। तो अभी जैसे चलने वाला है 5 तारीख से, तो ऐसे ही वो हर साल आता है। तो आप लोग स्टडी करते रहे, जो भी अच्छे फाइंडिंग्स है वो आप वो इंटरनेशनल टीएसए के सेमिनार में प्रेजेंट करें, और वहाँ पे भी ट्राई एंड इनकरेज एवरीवन। उसमें बहुत सारा डेटा वेटा भी चाहिए होता है, लेकिन थोड़ा अच्छा काम करके आप दिखाइए। और अभी वो प्रेजेंटेशंस 5 तारीख से है, जब आप ये टीएसए के वेबसाइट पे जो मैडम दिखा रही थी उस पे जाएंगे तो आप दुनिया भर में बहुत सारे टर्टल बायोलॉजिस्ट जो है टास्क करेंगे। ज्यादातर टास्क जो है रात में है 12 बजे 1 बजे के बाद, लेकिन अगर आप 2-4 टास्क सुन पाए तो उसमें से तो बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा, आपको पता चलेगा। और आप कुछ इकट्ठा कर पाते हैं तो आप वहाँ प्रेजेंट करिए, वहाँ पोस्टर भी होता है और ये भी होता है। इस साल तो पूरा वर्चुअल है, लेकिन वैसे हम लोग करते हैं। इंडिया में भी हम लोग 1-2 साल में मीटिंग्स करते रहते हैं। वो तो पेपर और पोस्टर तो हो ही जाएगा, लेकिन आप स्टडी उसको बढ़िया से बनाए रखिए। और जब तक अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं है पेपर पोस्टर का, यू विल ट्राई एंड सेंड स्मॉल नोट्स ऑन द बिहेवियर्स एंड दिस एंड दैट व्हाटएवर यू हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड।
जी सर, ये बहुत अच्छा आइडिया है। और मैंने उन लोगों को बोला कि आप लोग थोड़ा रिव्यू कीजिए, क्योंकि कोई भी काम करने से पहले, जैसे आपने बताया ना कि स्ट्रेट प्रैक्टिकल में जाने से पहले यू शुड गेन नॉलेज, यानी किसमें काम हुआ है, क्या है। तो they wanted to start a review work on this also, so we can talk to sir about it later on. Okay, Shamrita?
या ओके मैम। सर मेरा और एक क्वेरी है आपसे, क्या मैं पूछ सकती हूँ?
हाँ, जल्दी से पूछो। Sir, just tell me if you have, how much time you have.
No, I'm fine for another 5 minutes.
Okay, fast, Shamrita.
ओके सर, मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ कि जो वाटर पोल्यूशन इज अ बिग थ्रेट टू दिस टर्टल्स, सो क्या इसकी टॉक्सिसिटी उसकी बॉडीज पे कुछ इम्पेक्ट करती है?
समृता, मैं इसके बारे में मैंने बहुत सारे पेपर पढ़े हैं, और मुझे लगता है कि होता है, बायोएक्यूमुलेशन होता है टर्टल मसल्स में। सेल का तो उतना बात नहीं है, और सेल्स पे भी काफी सारे एब्रेजन्स दिखाई पड़ते हैं, लेकिन इंडिया में स्टडीज कम हुए हैं इसके। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वो एक एरिया है, जैसे फिश में काफी सारा टॉक्सिकोलॉजिकल स्टडीज हुए हैं, तो टर्टल्स का टॉक्सिकोलॉजिकल स्टडी होने का भी बहुत सारा गुंजाइश है। और बहुत सारे पोल्यूटेड रिवर है, जैसे यमुना नदी, उसमें अच्छा टर्टल पॉपुलेशन है, और भी होंगे तो तमाम सारे, तो उस पर कम अभी स्टडी हुआ है, लेकिन हो सकता है। और डेफिनेटली पड़ता है, बायोएक्यूमुलेशंस होता है, लेकिन टर्टल्स जो है वो फिश जैसे नहीं होते, क्योंकि दे डोंट दे ब्रीथ लाइक दे आर एयर ब्रीदर, सो दे necessarily don't take water inside their digestive system until they have to. So that means that they are kind of less impacted, but definitely they do bioaccumulation and try and try and recycle the toxins in the ecosystem. So my answer is yes, but that need lots more studies with Indian species.
Okay sir, thank you.
Thank you sir. Like there have been a lot of questions, बहुत सारे सवाल है यहाँ। हमारे एक स्टूडेंट है अर्णव चक्रवर्ती, उन्होंने मुझे बोला कि अरे वाह, मुझे बहुत सारे अंडे मिले हैं, मैं उनको फोटो भेजूंगा। So this is like really nice that people are getting interested. He has also some questions, but I'll post it to you later on offline, ना? Okay sir. और यहाँ पे अभिक है, अभिक कुछ बोलना चाहते हो या सोमनाथ? Like
सर,
हाँ, क्या बोलो जल्दी क्वेश्चन।
हाँ सर, वेस्ट बंगाल में कोई एंडेमिक टर्टल पाया जाता है क्या?
भारत देश में सिर्फ 3 एंडेमिक टर्टल है, और तीनों के तीनों साउथ इंडिया में पैदा होते हैं।
वेस्ट बंगाल में कोई नहीं पाया जाता।
ओके सर, और एक मेरे स्टूडेंट है यहाँ पे सुदर्शन बोल के, तो आई थिंक उनको भी वेस्ट मिदनापुर में, ईस्ट मिदनापुर में कुछ टर्टल स्पीशीज मिले थे। तो सुदर्शन, वुड यू लाइक टू स्पीक समथिंग दैट लाइक यू वर सेइंग दैट दे आर वेरी मच ईटन देयर एंड सुदर्शन?
हाँ मैडम।
Yeah, बोलो। You had sent me, those shells of turtles, like कैसा मिलता है तुम्हारे वहाँ पे टर्टल्स का?
मुझे कुछ एक भी मिला था टर्टल का।
क्या अंडे मिले थे ना? तुमने अंडे के फोटो भी भेजे थे?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, उसका साथ टाइटल भी था।
अच्छा, कैसा टर्टल था?
हेलो।
उसका सेल का फोटो मैं मैडम को भेजा था, बट माने उसे माने
अच्छा,
एखाने तो
आप
मैडम
हमको हमको अभी मैं ईमेल आईडी अपना बताता हूँ, आप उस हमें भी भेजिएगा तो मैं भी पहचान के बताऊंगा। और जो अभी श्री ने बताया है, श्री पर्णा ने, उसमें आप उसको पोस्ट भी कर दीजिएगा, ठीक है?
हाँ सर,
ठीक
एक्चुअली
है
क्या
सर।
है, जैसे श्रीपर्णा ने बताया, जैसे यहाँ पे आज जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं मैक्सिमम सारे मिदनापुर या सराउंडिंग एरियाज में हैं, तो यहाँ पे ग्रीनरी थोड़ी कम है, वाटर बॉडीज पे रिलेटिवली कम है एज कम्पेयर टू कलकत्ता। तो थोड़ा ड्राई है, कुछ खेतों के बीच मिल जाता है कभी कभी। पथिक, तुमने कभी देखा है क्या अपने एरिया में बचपन से टर्टल यहाँ पे? अगर हो तो बता सकते हो, कोई भी यहाँ पे, या सोमनाथ ने देखा हो तो, या प्रियंका या रोमिता, तुम लोग पूर्वा जो अच्छी शाहरुख ने ज्वाइन किया है। लेकिन सर वही बहुत कम है। तो मैक्सिमम जिनसे मैं पूछती हूँ सर एक ही बात बताते हैं कि जितना ऐसा नेचुरली नहीं दिखता है, ज्यादा इन लोग को खाए जाने में इनको इंटरेस्ट है। तो ये एक बड़ा एक प्रॉब्लम है।
Yes, ma'am. I mean, सिर्फ मिदनापुर में नहीं है, हावड़ा में जो वाटर बॉडी इतना ज्यादा है, यहाँ पे लोग सिर्फ उसे खाने के लिए ही यूज करते हैं। आई मीन टर्टल फॉर देयर, मार्केट से वो खरीदते हैं एक्स्ट्रा से। बस सर ये ग्राउंड लेवल में कैसे हम इसको कुछ कर सकते हैं इसके ऊपर, एनी काइंड ऑफ
ग्राउंड लेवल में
अवेयरनेस?
आप जो है मतलब यू कैन एसेंशियली रिपोर्ट टू लोकल फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट एंड
Yes, sir. We are always working with forest department. That is, yeah, we are doing that. But
that is only mechanism. There is no other mechanism,
बट
unfortunately.
यस सर, हाँ ये मैं समझ सकती हूँ, लेकिन ये बात है, अगर मेरी कोई बाजू वाला कोई घर है लेकिन वो मेरा रिलेटिव हो और समथिंग है, उन लोगों को मैं कैसे समझाऊं? वो लोग समझने के लिए तैयार ही नहीं होते। दैट इज अ बिग प्रॉब्लम। आई मीन इफ आई
उनको बताओ आपको कोविड हो जाएगा अगर कचरे का
वेरी गुड एक्सक्यूज।
हम लोग जो है वो त्रिपुरा में तो सबको वही बताते हैं। त्रिपुरा में जो मार्केट चलते हैं कि आप खाओगे, देखो मतलब उससे कुछ भी डिजीज हो सकता है आपको। एक
Yes sir, actually we are
हम लोगों ने
actually
बनाया था, वो
talking
मैं
about
आपको
this.
भेज दूंगा उस लिंक, वही फिल्म आप उनको दिखा दो। 3 मिनट का एक
अच्छा,
फिल्म है।
yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, that will be work.
हाँ।
Yes, and actually turtle वो तो एक्चुअली में वो दे आर, मतलब वो लोग तो खाते हैं कुछ ऐसे ही लेबरेज काइंड ऑफ थिंग ही खाते हैं, एंड वो लोग वाटर बॉडी को सेफ रखते हैं एक्चुअली। दैट इज यही तो
Okay,
वजह है।
आप उनको अपने अपने रिलेटिव को पक्का वो फिल्म दिखाइए, वो हम श्री से कहेंगे वो आपको भेज दे, ठीक है?
Okay, okay sir, thank
I think like sir, we had a small turtle group, so now like इससे पहले हम लोग का एक छोटा सा टर्टल ग्रुप था जिसमें 5-6 लोग थे। सो अगर तुम लोग इंटरेस्टेड हो तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में तुम लोग को ऐड कर देंगे। तो इसमें क्या होगा कि कौन किसको कहाँ मिल रहा है कि उसको क्या भेजे सर। अभी व्हाट्सएप और मेल में क्या होता है, 1:1 हो जाता है। तो अगर तुम लोग इंटरेस्टेड हो तो आईटी कैन के लिए भी तुम लोग वॉलंटियर कर सकते हो, और आई थिंक यू कैन ज्वाइन द व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप। उसके बाद हम लोग ऐसे जो टीएसए का एक्टिविटीज है वो मॉनिटर करेंगे, है ना सर? अगर आप बोले तो
I'm fine with whatever you guys like.
Okay. और अगर लास्ट कुछ कोई बोलना चाहता हो, जैसे अभिक ने नहीं बोला, पुलक इफ यू वांट टू से समथिंग, प्रियंका, सोमनाथ, कुछ छोटा सा जल्दी बोलो सर। सर बहुत मुश्किल से हम लोग के लिए टाइम बचा के आए हैं।
कोई बात नहीं, आप सवाल पूछ लीजिए। हम लोग करेंगे, हर महीने लोग एक बार बात करेंगे।
हाँ पथिक, तुम्हारे वहाँ पे तुमने अगर खेतों के बीच में ये टर्टल देखा हो तो बताओ। पथिक निकल गया शायद से। okay, सोमनाथ, तुम तो गांव में रहते हो, बताओ बचपन से अभी टर्टल देखा है कि क्या है, एक्सपीरियंस क्या है, बताओ जल्दी से। सोमनाथ, अभिषेक।
मैं एक स्टोरी बताना चाहती हूँ टर्टल के ऊपर।
रॉनी क्यों नहीं कुछ बोल रहा है, वो खाली रिव्यू कर रहा है क्या?
हाँ
चलो बताओ
सर, वो क्या है कि मैं जब छोटी थी, करीब क्लास 2 और क्लास 3 में, तब हम देखा करते थे कि मेरे जो दादाजी हैं वो बहुत छोटे छोटे टर्टल्स को ले आके एक बड़े से वाटर टैंक में उसको रख देते थे और फिर उसको काट के खा जाते थे। और वहाँ पे एक मीथ है कि वो जो टर्टल का जो सेल है उसको अगर तुम हैंग करके रखो तो रैट्स उससे डर जाते थे और क्रॉप्स को ज्यादा हानि नहीं करते थे। तो ये मैंने बचपन में देखा था। अभी जब इसके बारे में थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ती हूँ तो वो याद आ जाते हैं कुछ कुछ बातें
ये बहुत
बचपन की।
इंटरेस्टिंग है। हाँ, that's very nice.
मुझे सुदर्शन ने लिखा है कि मैडम, there is a tradition among villagers that the heart of turtle is effective for asthma, for healing asthma, and so people are, interested in searching those turtles and having it. So इतने misconceptions हैं sir, like we should join hands together, remove this myths, right?
Exactly. I mean, किसी भी वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोडक्ट से किसी भी तरीके का कोई फायदा नहीं होता। दे आर जस्ट प्रोटीन लाइक चिकन और फिश। तो उसमें मतलब एवरीथिंग इज जस्ट लाइक अ मिथ।
Yeah. So लगता है, लेकिन सर मुझे लगता है मिथ, हमको ज्यादा मिथ फैलाना चाहिए कि इसको खाने से उल्टा ये रोग हो जाता है, ताकि वो टर्टल्स को ना harm करे।
you have to mislead them कि मतलब आप ये, इसीलिए हम लोगों ने एक फिल्म बनाया उसके ऊपर कि कितना अनहाइजीनिक होता है जहाँ पर टर्टल रहते हैं, फिर उनको कैसे लेके जाते हैं और फिर वहां रखते हैं। तो इसीलिए कोविड के दौरान ही बनाया था, एंड वी जस्ट सर्कुलेटेड इट ऑल अक्रॉस। So people should know कि मतलब वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोडक्ट को खाने से, if not COVID but any other disease can always come, क्योंकि zoonosis diseases are always there with such thing, है ना। तो उसमें वही है। तो आप सब लोग मेरा email ID ले लीजिए, अगर आपके पास नहीं है तो मैं आपको बोल देता हूँ, आप लोग लिख लीजिए। वेरी सिंपल, SHAI @turtlesurvival.org। SHAI@turtlesurvival.org, shai@turtlesurvival.org। तो इस पे आप कभी भी कुछ भी सवाल है आप पूछिए, और इसीलिए हमने आज श्री को भी इस मीटिंग में बुलाया था। She speaks Bengali, so if anyone like is not comfortable with talking to me, you can always talk to her.
Yeah,
So,
of course. I will
Shri
reply.
has also shared sir's email ID, but I think let's make it collaborative. यहाँ पे कुर्मा आपका लिंक भी चैट बॉक्स में दिया है, if you want I can share with you. सर एक छोटा क्वेश्चन है रोनित से। रोनित, can't you speak it up on yourself? It's better. कि मैं
बोलेगा नहीं,
थोड़ा बोलूं।
उसको मैडम 1000 रुपए ले लेंगी फिर फीस में एक्स्ट्रा।
Ronit, speak it out. Speak your question.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Hello, sir.
You are audible.
Rani.
Sir, I have one question. What are the suitable or favorable parameters of water for freshwater turtle?
मतलब वो पूछ रहा है कि कैसे परिवेश में, कैसे पानी में टर्टल्स रहना पसंद करते हैं।
ये रानी जो है, अलग अलग कछुए अलग अलग तरीके के अलग अलग पानी में रहना पसंद करते हैं, लेकिन ज्यादातर कछुए थोड़ा जो पानी धुंधला होता है, एकदम क्लियर वाटर नहीं होता है, वो उसमें रहते हैं। लेकिन कुछ कछुए जैसे आप नेपाल में जाओगे तो आपको एकदम शीशे जैसे पानी में रहेंगे। लेकिन अगर आप वैसे देखते हो तो धुंधले पानी में, क्यों मैं कह रहा हूँ, जिसमें थोड़ा मिट्टी होता है, पोल्यूशन नहीं, जैसे कि वो एक दूसरे को ज्यादा देख नहीं पाते हैं और उससे उनके ऊपर थोड़ा स्ट्रेस कम रहता है। तो ऐसा मुझे लगता है कि उनको थोड़ा प्राइवेट स्पेस मिलता है, तो थोड़ा धुंधले पानी में रहना पसंद करते हैं जहाँ पे थोड़ा मिट्टी होता है।
Okay, thank you, sir. The quick knock to Shoraditya. Like since he stays in North Bengal, how is the incidence of turtles out there? Like how much have you seen or heard about turtles in North Bengal? Shoraditya.
I think left হয়েছে, কোনো নেটওয়ার্ক ইস্যু।
He just left. Priyanka, your house is also in the village, near the village. Have you seen or observed turtles in your neighborhood from childhood, Priyanka? Since Shoraditya is back, I was just asking what is the incidence of turtles in your area at North Bengal?
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'd like to mention that in North Bengal, turtles are not that abundant over here. Generally, we find tortoises, and in local market, it used to be sold very openly. But in recent times, like last 5 or 6 years, I haven't found them to be sold in an open market like that. I think people are quite aware of their conservation status or something like that. But I would like to take the chance to ask sir one question. That we know that in case of turtles, their sex determination system is dependent on environmental factors. So this question always came to my mind, that how turtles maintain sex ratio in their group or in their colony like that. And the second question that I would like to ask, as I'm also working in the field of taxonomy, I know how tough it can be. So, can it for turtles is just morphological features good enough to identify them, or we need to use some other techniques as well for detecting them? Are any kind of cryptic species or any kind of those kind of problems arise in turtle identification?
Yeah, thank you, Sharaditya. But I must say that Sir had already touched a bit upon the effect of temperature on sex determination of turtles.
No,
I don't know.
I can just like quickly rehash that. So Sauraditya, I mean, when the female come out to nest, so they try and choose an area where they can nest. So whenever they dig the nest, so that means anything they are going to, I mean, all the eggs, those are going to come with a close touch of the ground. So they are definitely going to be on lesser temperature, and anything which is, I mean, all the eggs, those are going to come close to the sand, or the covering material are going to come in the close touch of the sun. So probably, I mean, so that means that that's how they maintain and differentiate the temperature. So if like I'm a turtle, I want to keep like, or I want to make like 50 babies, 50% babies male and 50% female. So probably one layer is going to come close to the ground, another layer is going to come close to the surface. So that means the higher temperature is always just like, produce females, and the lower eggs are going to produce males. And ecologically or evolutionary, they are so evolved that there are different layers, okay, and that decide, that means which layer is going to produce what sex ratio. And the second answer of second question is that there are definitely means there are cryptic species, and there are different sampling methods to find them. Some are very active in the night, some are during the dusk and dawn, and some during the when the sun is really high, so they come out and bask. So depends that what species you are looking for, and they have a different ecology, since they live in a different habitat. Some live in fast flowing rivers, some in the forest, some in the small wetlands, some in the ditches. So depends that what species you are looking for. And then there are methods, and those methods are published, that how to detect them in the field.
I hope Shoraditya's answer is given.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I would also like to let others ask one introduction. Like Shoraditya is an assistant professor at one of the colleges in Corvette, and he has enrolled for the PhD under me. Among the participants here, Abhishek, then Rohan was there. He went off. Anyway, so these are our budding scientists, I think.
No. They have asked very nice questions, and they have lots of interest in turtles. So I think, it's going to be a great group. So I'm very happy to share some of my knowledge with all of you. So thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, one last question. At last, my synonymous person, she has spoken up. Her name is Priyanka Patro. She asks, ma'am, actually turtles are normally seen in our locality. I had never seen turtle in our locality. Okay, this is not a question. Okay, and I'm interested to know what are the basic difference between tortoise and turtle. Okay, so.
So Priyanka, turtle always just spend majority of their time in the water, and they have the flippers, or other means I mean their legs are webbed. So उनके digits के बीच में वो चप्पू जैसा पतवार जैसा हाथ में होता है, जिससे कि वो तैर सकता है पानी में. टाटवाइज जो है वो ज्यादातर उनके पैर जो है स्टैम्प फीट होते हैं, जैसे कि वो बिल खोद सकते हैं और दूर तक वॉक कर सकते हैं अपने बॉडी को उठा के, तो वो उस तरह से होते हैं. दूसरा ये होता है, टर्टल्स को अगर आप देखें तो उनका शेल जो है थोड़ा चपटा होता है, क्योंकि पानी के अगेंस्ट उनको तैरना पड़ता है, तो इसीलिए वो कम से कम उनको रेजिस्टेंस होगा. और जो टाटवाइज है वो देखो आप, तो थोड़ा सा मतलब वो उभरा हुआ होता है, और थोड़ा सा ऊपर से वो ओवल शेप्ड होता है. और भी बहुत सारे अंतर हैं, लेकिन मतलब ये दो बेसिक चीजें हैं. जब आप कछुए को उठा के देखें, अगर उनके पैर में वेब्ड है और उनके पैर जो है मतलब स्टैम्प जैसे है, तो इसका मतलब है कि, और अदर स्टम्प जैसे हैं, तो उसका मतलब है कि वो मतलब टर्टल्स और टाटवाइजेस है. और फिर उसके बाद में ये है, और टाटवाइजेस ज्यादातर टाइम जो है वो टेरेस्ट्रियल होते हैं, जमीन पे ज्यादातर टाइम स्पेंड करते हैं. और सारे टर्टल और टर्टवाइज को मिला के भी टर्टल्स बुलाते हैं, लेकिन फिर टर्टल्स के अंदर जो है फ्रेश वाटर टर्टल्स होते हैं और टर्टवाइज होते हैं, तो दोनों को टर्टल्स ही बुलाते हैं।
ओके, सो लाइक अगर किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन है लास्ट में, आई थिंक we would then end up the session.
जिसने सवाल नहीं पूछा उससे आप 1000 रुपए ले लीजिएगा, हमको फिर दे दीजिए।
पूर्वा, Abhik, both of you, Abhishek also. Anything? You didn't speak.
Ma'am,
Yeah, both of you.
ma'am, there is river in our locality, but I haven't seen a turtle here. Turtles are only seen in the market, not though in open market, but they are sold for food purpose.
Okay. Yeah, that's a reality because the more we go towards the lateritic zone, you have less of the water bodies and less distribution. Anyone else, Shomnath? I asked you twice. Now I'll really put a fine. Anyway, joking. Tell me, Shomnath. I think his audio is from Shomnath. Who else? Sharuthi, did you want to say something? Sharuthi's house is in Arambagh district, I think.
No, ma'am. I'm from Bankura.
Okay, Bankura. Yeah, tell me. Any of your experience with turtles?
No, ma'am. Actually, I have a question to my dear respected sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I want to ask you that whether turtles can identify the magnetic field of Earth to determine their home area.
यार ऐसे स्टडी तो हुआ है काफी सारा, जिसमें मतलब जहाँ पे टर्टल हैच होते हैं, जैसे उड़ीसा में कुछ बीचेस पे हैच होते हैं और फिर वापस वो लौट के वहां पे आते हैं, तो ऐसा माना जाता है कि वो मतलब दे आर अलाइंड विद द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड एंड सो दे कैन जस्ट लाइक रिटर्न बैक टू द एरिया दे हैच, so they come back to nest exactly where they hatch. So probably like they understand that and only one thing which can guide through and through Earth is the electromagnetic field of the Earth. So my answer is yes, and there lots of study has been done on this.
Okay, so thank you, sir.
So if no one else has left to speak, some of them were there, but they had to leave due to some technical problems, maybe network connectivity. But this is not the last one. As I said, we will try to arrange another meet next, maybe something very much interesting, the stories, the real on-field actions that sir has done with his team. So yeah, Abhishek, you unmuted. You want to say something?
No, ma'am, it's okay.
So
मतलब जब भी कोई क्वेश्चन होता है तो सर से डायरेक्ट मैसेज करने से सर तुरंत आंसर दे देते हैं, तो इसलिए कोई क्वेश्चन अभी नहीं है.
I'm very responsive on WhatsApp. Yes.
Yes, because whenever I have mailed sir, and the small WhatsApp group of 5 or 6 persons we were running so far, sir has been really very, very helpful, because we really want, like, in whatever means, at least थोड़ा सा एक छोटा सा स्टेप भी होगा तो ये टर्टल कंजर्वेशन के लिए फ्यूचर में कहीं जाके शायद से बड़ा रूप लेगा.
मतलब जैसे जस्ट एन स्टार्ट, और हम लोग करेंगे, कुछ अच्छा करेंगे साथ साथ.
So this Ranit, repeat.
What toxicity कैसे इफेक्ट करता है टर्टल पर?
Your sound is breaking. Just speak another one, last one. Yeah.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि वाटर का जो टॉक्सिसिटी है वो कैसे टर्टल पर इफेक्ट करता है?
क्या है? Sorry.
Ronit, rather you type it here or what? Your voice is breaking. Okay. For Shomrita, she has a question. Review work का question हम लोग अलग से देंगे, ठीक है?
आप सारे क्वेश्चन जो है वो करके एक कंपाइल करके फिर ईमेल कर दीजिए हमें. I can answer that.
Ronit, so I think let us wind up now today. Thank you, sir, once again. And like,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, Ronit was asking water toxicity कैसे affect करता है water turtle पे? How is water toxicity?
रौनित, क्या होता है ना कि मतलब बॉडी में कछुए के वो सारे के सारा जो केमिकल है वो धीरे धीरे जमा हो जाता है। इसका ये मतलब है कि कोई जरूरी नहीं कि वो टर्टल को इफेक्ट करे, लेकिन वो फूड चेन में धीरे धीरे शामिल हो जाता है। और इसमें काफी सारी स्टडीज हैं, लेकिन इंडिया में टॉक्सिकोलॉजी, वाटर क्वालिटी और टर्टल हेल्थ के बारे में, इकोसिस्टम हेल्थ के बारे में भी बहुत ही कम स्टडी हुआ है। लेकिन हमें लगता है वो सवाल का आपका जवाब हाँ है कि वो होता होगा।
हर एनिमल पे ही होता है कम ज्यादा। जस्ट
नॉर्थ ईस्ट में कुछ ऐसे टेम्पल पॉन्ड्स है जहाँ हम लोग देखते हैं कि बहुत ज्यादा ऑर्गेनिक ग्रोथ की वजह से उनका मतलब पूरा फंगल ग्रोथ हो जाता है उनके बॉडी स्किन पे, और तमाम सारा उनको स्किन प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है। तो मतलब ऑर्गेनिक लोड की वजह से या टॉक्सिन की वजह से तो जरूर से होगा, लेकिन कुछ खास हमारे पास ऐसा वो नहीं है डेटा एंड फैक्ट्स की हम आपके साथ शेयर कर पाए।
एक पर्सन के लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है कि वो टर्टल के 100 एस्पेक्ट्स में हर कोई समान जानकारी हो। तो एनीवे, so officially thank you very much, sir, for motivating the kids, and also we'll definitely be in touch. You definitely
ये करेंगे और इन लोगों को रिसर्चर बना के ही मानेंगे।
जरूर। लेकिन सर की बात तुम लोग सब याद रखना कि एक बार में मैं बड़ा बहुत कुछ कर दूंगा या कर दूंगी ऐसा मत सोचो। पहले प्रॉपर नॉलेज गेन करो, उसके बारे में पढ़ाई करो। सर आइडेंटिफिकेशन कीज मुझे दे चुके हैं। हाँ, छोटा छोटा काम करो, धीरे धीरे से डेवलप करो, ठीक है? तो नॉट ओनली दिस, और सर को मेल कर सकते हो, श्रीपर्णा ने जो लिंक दिया वहाँ पे तुम लोग लिख सकते हो। एक वीडियो है वो मैंने देखा हुआ है, लेकिन तुम लोग देखो वो कोचिंग क्या है, तो यू कैन ऑल्सो शेयर इट, फॉरवर्ड इट व्हाट्सएप पीपल। जो लोग ज्यादा टर्टल खाकू है उनको ज्यादा से भेजो, ताकि वो डर जाए टर्टल खाने में या उनको पकड़ने में। तो और मेनली मैंने चैट बॉक्स पे भी जो लिखा, वी वांट टू ग्रो दिस नेटवर्क, सो just your consent, you can just write 2 lines to me. Okay, you wish to join the IT CAN, or you want to presently, ये informal जो WhatsApp group है, इसके बीच में हम लोग सर के साथ इसी माध्यम से हम लोग कांटेक्ट रखेंगे। तो फिर नेक्स्ट मंथ में फिर बोला करेंगे। Thank you so once again, thank you for precious time, and bye. Yeah, signing out, and thank you all kids, and hope this was just so bye bye, and you're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're
welcome to